Hey guys, today I'm back on my computer and I wanted to share with you guys products that aren't very good investments. Now you can see I have a lot of tabs open, so this is going to be one of my longer videos, but I think it's important to cover all these products that I have up here because when I first started investing into Pokemon, I didn't really know what a good product was. I was buying just products that were on sale or just looked cool, and I ended up losing a lot of money because I would either just open the product because I'm like, I don't want to lose the money, I'd rather just open it and just kind of have some fun, and end up losing money that way. Or I would sell some products at a loss, and it just becomes a big hassle to have to buy and sell something for a loss, and it ends up not being worth it. So I hope I can make this video and kind of share with you guys all these products that you shouldn't invest into, so you don't have to deal with that hassle. Now, none of these products are in any particular order. I just kind of randomly picked a lot of different products to talk about, and there are better products in this whole tabs that I have open. Some of them are better than others, and some of them are a lot worse. For example, these mini tins aren't that bad, but I still kind of have some things that I don't like about them. So let's just first start off with them. Mini tins. Mini tins, they come out for specialty sets, and I think different regions in Pokemon because they have like Sinnoh Stars, Galar Pals. So these products, I just don't really like them, and the reason why is because, for one, if you have them loose, they're just kind of hard to organize because they're just kind of small. And if I have like 50 or 100 of these, it just kind of gets like a pain to like organize and store. But if you do have them in a display case, sealed, it's not that bad to store. They actually don't take up much space. Each display case has 10 mini tins and there's 2 packs each, so there's 20 packs. So it's not that bad to store. But the main thing I don't like about these is because they're just not a premium product. There's better products, especially for the specialty sets. You might think that they're good because, specialty set, people are going to want this thing because it's, cool. It's a cool tin, and it's a specialty set, so it's kind of like a good thing. But I just don't think these mini tins are going to be one of those premium products that are going to be easy to sell in the future. I think especially for these specialty sets, Elite Trainer boxes are just the way to go. And also, I guess, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. I don't think these mini tins are going to be that sought after. I even think collection boxes or even some other tins, like just the regular tins, are going to be better than these. I think these are just a weird product that they just have 2 packs each, and it's just kind of a little bit weird. So I think liquidity is going to be an issue. Plus, if you are planning to break these down for the packs to just store or whatever, first of all, I don't really do that. But if you are going to do that with these, I think for mini tins, it's not worth it because they don't take up that much space. But for a collection box, maybe it will be worth it. But they're just really, if you're going to break them down, they're just really annoying because each of them are individually sealed in plastic. And I, opened a lot of these mini tins when the Costco ones were around. And yeah, it just kind of sucked because they just took a long time to open and get the packs out. But they are kind of cool, but investment wise, I wouldn't get them. But if you are planning to invest in some of these mini tins, there are some deals for them. For example, for Crown Zenith, they have a display for $80, and that averages, I think, to $4 a pack. Now, that is a little bit cheaper than the Elite Trainer boxes because you can get a case of Elite Trainer boxes for Crown Zenith, I think, for like $380. And I think that's a little bit more than $4 a pack, so it's a little bit more expensive. But I think that tiny amount you're saving with these mini tins just isn't worth it. I believe the Elite Trainer boxes will just be much easier to sell in the future. So honestly, I would just avoid the mini tins. They aren't the worst product out there to invest into. So if you find a good deal, maybe it's worth it. But I just think these aren't going to be that easy to sell in the future. Next, we got collector's chests. Now, honestly, this is just the worst version than those mini tins because they just take up way more space. And they just don't really go up in value that much. There's a couple exceptions in the past, but they just usually aren't that good investments. For example, this collector's chest came out in fall of 2020, and you can see it's sold out here, but if you go to TCG Player, it hasn't even really gained any value, and this is 3 years ago. So that's just kind of an example. I know the packs in here probably aren't that good, but just in general, these just take up so much space. They have a ton of random products like this, like stickers, mini binder, and they have like some, paper. It's just not a very good product. People aren't going to really look for these, and usually these honestly don't have that many good packs. And overall, just if you're buying a lot of these, it's just going to be a hassle to sell, and this is definitely not one of those premium products that people are going to want. So I would just avoid these tins. Next, we got another tin, and this might be kind of, and I don't think really controversial, but honestly, just any random tin out there, I think is just not a good investment. If it's a specialty tin, it might be different, like Crown Zenith or Celebrations. But for tins that are just random and have just, normal packs, it's just better to buy a booster box for each set. These tins are just kind of random, and it's just not one of those products that people are going to be like, oh, I just want this Umbreon V tin. It's just not one of those products. People are going to buy it for the packs, obviously, but in terms of like having to sell it in liquidity, there's just better stuff to buy out there. So I would just avoid just random tins that are just, have normal packs in them, because they're just going to not increase in value as much as other products that, are specifically towards us, like a set. So just, I would avoid these normal tins. Next, this might be kind of a given, but I am going to talk about it because, especially for people who are just, first starting to invest, theme decks, any of these battle decks, just don't invest into them. They're just not a product people look for. Even vintage decks aren't very expensive compared to, booster packs, because theme decks are just something, it is not packs. There's nothing really to pull. You kind of know what's in them. They're just not really that cool. The cards in here usually are just kind of plain, and they just have a lot of energies. Just not a product no one's going to really want in the future. These barely go up in value, and I can kind of show you guys that. There's even a Sun and Moon, which is obviously years ago. They're still on the Pokemon Center website. They just don't sell. So these are just not very good products. People won't really buy them. You're going to be stuck with them. Even if you can get them for a very good deal, maybe even half the price, it's just not worth buying them. No one's going to want them. I see people like on Facebook Marketplace try to sell these, and I can tell that they probably, don't really know, like, what a good product is, because I see them have this product for sale, and they're just selling it at like a loss or just equal, like at like the MSRP. It's just a waste of time. Don't deal with these battle decks. They all are just not very good. So just stay away from these battle decks. Next, we got, I think, another one of those controversial things, sleeved booster packs. Now, there's a few reasons why I don't like these. I think they're good, like, display pieces to have, but there's just a lot of problems I see with sleeve booster packs. One, and the main thing, is just the weighing problem. Like I said in a lot of my other videos, I don't break down packs from boxes, because it just, there's always that air of people, complaining that, you weighed the packs or whatever, or they're resealed. So just having these packs, yes, they are like encased in another cardboard piece, and they're, packs inside. You can still weigh them, and it's just a huge problem, and I don't want to have to deal with that. If if you sell them and someone says they're weighed, it just becomes too much of a problem. So I avoid buying these, but if you are going to buy them, I would recommend buying them in a case, because then obviously, people could say the case is resealed or whatever, but it becomes just a little bit easier to sell. And if you were to sell in person, that person is more, ensured that it's not resealed and all the packs aren't weighed, because, it's a sealed case. But I just don't really like these for that reason, because you can still weigh them, and there's just better products out there. I would say if you're going to go with, a booster pack like this, where it's a sleeved, honestly, I would recommend blisters. Like, I have some 3-pack blisters. I think these are a better choice. I'm pretty sure you can't really weigh these, because there's like multiple packs in them. So, it would just not be possible, because with the sleeve boosters, you can individually weigh each pack. But with these, you can't, because there's 3 packs. So it could be, one could be heavy, one could be light. You don't really know. But if you're going to invest into sleeve boosters, I would honestly just recommend 3-pack blisters. But with that being said, I would recommend not buying some of these random blisters. One, they're usually more expensive because they come with some random like eraser. They are kind of cool, honestly. Like, I would just want one for my collection just to have. But in terms of like pack price and stuff, these are not that efficient. And also, I don't know who's going to want this eraser in the future. Maybe it'd be a cool product. I don't know. But I would just avoid these 2 packs too. I would just go with 3 packs, because these are going to be ones that people, this is kind of another premium product I believe out there, are these 3-pack blisters, along with like booster boxes and stuff. But this is definitely way better in my opinion than the sleeve boosters. So that's just my opinion. But I do think these are cool just to have, like, a set like art piece, but investing wise, I would avoid these. Next, we got Elite Trainer boxes. Now, I know in the past I have said, and just in this video, I have said, Elite Trainer boxes are a good investment, but that's mainly towards specialty sets. And the reason why I say that is because specialty sets do not have booster boxes. So that kind of just leaves you with Elite Trainer boxes. That's kind of the premium product. Yes, there are tins and there are collection boxes for these specialty sets, but specialty sets, the main premium product, is going to be Elite Trainer boxes, and maybe along with the 3-pack blisters. But with that being said, normal sets like Vivid Voltage, like for example, they are a nice display piece. I do have one just for display, to be honest, because I like the Chonkachu on there. But investing wise, normal Elite Trainer boxes for normal sets, main sets, are just not the way to go because they're just overprinted. Yes, they perform decent over the long run, but they just take up way more space to store, and booster boxes are just going to be the way to go for the main sets. So honestly, I would just avoid Elite Trainer boxes because of just, storage issues, and booster boxes are probably going to be a little bit more liquid than these Elite Trainer boxes, with the exception of the booster boxes not being crazy in price. I know I just said a lot there, but I just wouldn't invest into Elite Trainer boxes of main sets. I'd just go for booster boxes if you are going to do that. But if you're investing into Elite Trainer boxes for specialty sets, they're I think the premium product, and I would do that. Next, we got this is just one of those off products, like one-off products that are just kind of weird. Products that are just not very mainstream and kind of a random product like these knockout collections. They're just harder to sell because they just don't have that liquidity, because some people might not even know these exist. So people aren't really looking for these specific products. People might just be buying them for the packs that are inside, but other than that, just these weird products that are just one-offs, like the Eraser, like 2-pack blister, just those one-off products that aren't very known out there or very mainstream, I just would avoid, because you're going to just have problems of just liquidity. But people will still buy them for the packs, but long term, there's just way better stuff to buy. So just I would avoid, these weird products that are just kind of one-offs. Next, we got build and battle stadiums. Now, this is kind of the same thing where it's just kind of like this is not a weird product, but it's kind of just not one of those premium products. It has 2 build and battles, which build and battles are a okay investment in my opinion. And they come with just some loose packs, and they come with some energies and all that stuff. This is just not one of those products where I feel like it's just gonna be that easy to sell. There are good deals for these sometimes. Like I have seen like a case of these be very cheap, but just selling wise, it's just not gonna be that easy. If you're gonna break them down for packs and whatever, maybe that is the way to go. But these are just kind of bulky, and just build and battle stadiums aren't just a product, especially displayability. They're not. I mean, they're kind of cool, but build and battles are stadiums are just not a product people really go for. They just don't have that liquidity. It's kind of the same thing with a lot of these things I'm showing you guys. Some of these products, they just don't have that liquidity with them. I'd honestly just rather invest into a booster box, or even, a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box would be okay. But this is just one of those products that I would just avoid because it just is not that easy to sell. Even though you might get a good deal on them, I just would avoid these. Next, we got collection boxes. Now, if you watch my other videos, I have collection boxes. I'm trying to sell some of them, to be honest. But I'm just talking about these like huge collection boxes. These, especially if you're trying to sell online, is going to be a nightmare. These are huge boxes. They only have 4 packs. The 4 packs are decent, but this is also doesn't really have that great of a Pokemon on the box to be featured. This product, it would be a product that you'd maybe just want to break down for the packs. But if you're going to invest into it and just keep it sealed, honestly, just stay away from them. They're not that easy to sell, especially when they don't have a very popular Pokemon on them. Just a huge box, just not that many packs. It's not very efficient. Just stick with a booster box. Kind of the same thing with this Pikachu V box. It's just a random collection box. It's just not one of those premium products like a booster box where people are looking for. Because in the future, people aren't going to be looking like, hey, I want this Morpeko V Union special collection box. It's not really going to work. I mean, there's going to be maybe some people, but this is just not a product people are going to be specifically looking for. Obviously, like I've said before, people will just buy it for the packs, but it just won't be as easy to sell as something like a booster box where it's like specifically for one set, whatever, and they just are going to be a pain to ship and just a pain to sell because they're just kind of weird. There's one-off collection boxes. They make a ton of these collection boxes out there. There's just too many out there. So I would avoid just buying these random collection boxes. But just like the Elite Trainer boxes, I would say if it's a specialty set, like I have Celebration collection boxes, they're way better. But still, you might have to deal with issues of storage and stuff. But I would avoid these random collection boxes. But like I said, if there's a good deal out there, you might just want to break them down and just open the packs or just keep them sealed or whatever. But if you're going to keep them sealed and have a ton of these, it's just, you're going to have a lot of space issues. And they're going to be harder to sell. Another one of these boxes, these V-Star boxes, these are pretty expensive. They don't have that many decent like packs in them. Like it's just Fusion Strike, Brilliant Stars is, I think is that a Chilling Reign? No, it's a Fusion Strike back there. Or it is, maybe it is, but these just random products that are pretty expensive. These just aren't going to do that well long run, unless it has like, you know, maybe Evolving Skies or something. But these are just expensive. There's way better products to buy out there. The packs in them are just mediocre kind of for what it is. And yeah, just these random premium collection boxes. I know, you know, premium collection might say that's a little bit better, but some of these just aren't that great. And that kind of is the same thing with this box. It says a special collection box. These ones, I mean, they're a little bit better because they have Evolving Skies and it has, you know, there's a Leafeon one too. But just any of these collection boxes, honestly, you're just better off buying, you know, maybe a booster box or a 3-pack blister. I know this is kind of redundant, but I just want to share with you guys some of these products that, you know, are just out there that you might think are good investments, which I think personally I just wouldn't buy. A lot of these collection boxes are just, you know, hard, just terrible to sell because they just take up a lot of space. So, you know, they're going to lose money in shipping, and just to store a lot of them is just a pain. So hopefully you guys learned something from this video. I know I kind of rambled a lot and kind of repeated myself for some of these products, but I just want to share with you guys just a ton of different products out there that you might be thinking that are good, and kind of just tell you guys why I personally wouldn't buy them. So hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.